Hey you guys, okay, so we have so much to talk about today. Don't mind him, don't mind Waylon. We have so much to talk about today. Every time I film in here, he like creeps around. He's like, nah, I've seen this before, I'm out. We're gonna do a total decor updates video. I've been promising one of these for a while, and let me just kind of, first of all, it's gonna be so many things. It's gonna be rooms of my house, or a room of my house that maybe you haven't even seen before. But here's the thing, like, I love decor. It's one of my very favorite things to talk about ever, and I try to mix these videos in when I can, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, sometimes if I'm like, okay, I redid my guest bedroom, I don't wanna like post this video where it's like, oh, here's my guest bedroom, like guest bedroom update. This is so like important that it warranted its own video. Sometimes I feel a little cringy, or like even people asking to see, you know, like the pool, because we redid our whole backyard and did the pool and everything, and you know, I've seen pictures on Instagram, and I get it because I'm one of the type of people that love seeing that. Girl, I would love if someone that I followed and was interested in their style posted a video on like, hey, here's my, here's the floor of my bathroom. Like, okay, well, let me see what she's got going on there. You know, like, I don't care, but it's just something personal with me that like, sometimes I'd rather just, if I've made a bunch of little changes, do like a big mashup like this. But there's a few really, I feel kind of like big, cool changes that may even inspire some of you guys to change up some things in your own house, and things that I think will be really, I think, helpful. But back to the whole pool thing, I will do a video on that because I do understand and I do want to, but again, sometimes I just have that feeling of like, here, look at this, and that's, you know what I mean. So even these videos, I try to do it very laid back. I don't want to make a big production about it and make it crazy. I just like sharing, as I always do, and just keeping it casual and just sharing stuff. So that's what we're gonna do today. We'll be talking about sort of like my feelings on fall decor, because I'm seeing a lot of that crop up lately. Speaking of fall decor, I got a little cozy today and busted out my barefoot dreams for the first time. Not feeling toasty yet, but I don't know, I was feeling it today. I'll talk about my outfit in a second, but huge change in the family room. I did something really big, changed up something kind of major in there. I feel. Changed around some stuff in here. I'm gonna kind of talk about that. The biggest things I'm gonna share with you guys that hopefully is gonna be really helpful is my guest bedroom. So I'm gonna share with you guys some good tips I feel on how to decorate a really small bedroom. Guest bedroom ideas, I don't know. It's not perfect, but I've really changed it around a lot recently. I'm really all about just collecting and leaving. I'd rather have an empty room and collect really good things rather than just going out and buying whatever I'm feeling at the time to fill it up. I just feel like that's better. So I don't know. That's why maybe you don't see a whole lot of little hauls for me, because I really do like to keep it real. Okay, I could post a lot of those, but I just don't think it would be real. But as I do find things, I will make it more of a point to show, because sometimes I don't. But I do have some new things that I'm gonna show. I've got like this one in particular right here that I'm sitting next to. But let's go ahead and get into it. So let me share with you what I'm wearing really quickly. So this Barefoot Dreams cardigan, I have them pretty much, I feel, in like every style they make, and I think this is the best one I've ever had. And then I've got this little cami that you guys saw in my recent fall fashion haul. It's like $12. This one is so beautiful. The straps are adjustable. I did adjust it a little bit since that last video. It's silky. It's just beautiful. So I love this. So I may have to come out of the sweater in a moment, but right now I'm really cozy in it. But let me tell you, this is like cute enough to wear on its own, but let me tell you, this sweater, first of all, this Barefoot Dreams cardigan is probably the best one that I've ever had, like the best style. So this is one that I picked up during the anniversary sale. And then these are another pair of the jeans, the $29 jeans from my video that I posted last. And I just absolutely love them, you guys. I just grab you a pair of these. You will not be disappointed. The pockets are plain and cute. They are so flattering. They fit exactly like my good American jeans. Check those out, and let's continue. Okay, first, you guys may notice there's a few changes in here. I'll get to that in a second, but because it kind of has to do with what happened in the family room. So in my family room, I changed up the bookcases. You guys, for years, I don't want to say struggled with them, but what I did is I just removed them. Okay, I love a built-in, I love a symmetrical family room. If I were to like build a house, I would honestly do the same thing. but I think it's nice to be able to have the option to like remove them, because I was finding that it was sometimes just collecting too much stuff and things that weren't really useful, or things that sometimes would make it look cluttered. In our first house, we had those big built-ins, and I knew when we were looking for another house, like when we bought this house, that was such a big deal that it had the built-ins. And it wasn't even necessarily, I figured out now, because I wanted shelves to put things. It was just because I wanted that symmetrical look, and you don't necessarily need the bookshelves to get that. So what I did, because I found that like my collection of white pottery, a few books that I had, the white pottery was kind of spread out, and I think collections look better if they're kind of grouped really together. Of course, I could have put them like that on certain shelves, but it was just too much. I'll show you what I did with those in a second. But even like my books, you guys, when I would post photos of that room, you guys sometimes in the past would say, well, where are your books? Like years ago, I did this post, a blog post or something, when I had my blog on like styling a bookshelf. And everyone's like, well, there's no books. I'm like, there's 70 books on this bookshelf. You know what I mean? It's just, they were so colossal and huge. Like literally the second shelf I couldn't even reach, you know? So it was kind of useless. It's pretty for decor, but I think that with those, it's better if you have fewer larger objects rather than just like you see sometimes, built-ins that have too small of shelves, and it's just too much little things, and you really have to go sparing in the rest of the room, and it kind of limits you, honestly. So what I did, I've been dreaming of this for a long time. I wanted just to get 2 really fabulous mirrors and put them there. I'll link to what I can. I did find the lamps at like a local furniture store, so I'm not sure I'll be able to link those. And the built-ins on each side of the fireplace, like those are actually, you know, built in, they're nice. Olivia's toys are all under the right one. We have like all the components for the TV and everything that, you know, is on the left one that kind of goes through the wall, and like movies and games and stuff. So I think that's really nice to have over there. So I would say, like, honestly, if I were building another house, or if I were just gonna pick like my perfect family room layout or something, I would do the same thing, but I would build in just the bottom, you know, and just have like a really cool piece on the bottom, or don't put anything there at all. Just leave space to maybe put 2 really big pretty pieces of furniture. But I love this symmetry. I did change up a little bit on the left right there. I put those really pretty planters, and I love how that looks. I love those sconces with the little flameless candles, because I don't want like an open flame right next to the wood wall. That freaks me out. So these are really nice. They are LED, they're controlled with a remote, and they look very, very real. I will link to these. And on the other side, since I've got the mirrors on the back of the bookshelves, you don't want to be like mirrors, mirrors, mirrors everywhere. Like kind of balance it out. If you've got some mirrors, maybe like don't put another type of mirror in the room. Maybe do some art or something. And I've got a really cool giant piece of art coming that is so pretty, and I'll share that with you guys when I get that. So that's sort of the update on that room. The only thing that I did change, the other thing, the lamps on the back table, on the sofa table, I've had these forever, but they're a little shorter. And I put these here instead of those big like horse bit ones that I used to have, which I put that in the basement because I've kind of got like a different vibe going down there now, which those really work well down there. But I like these because they're a little shorter. You can see through from the kitchen, you know, into there much better. It's not like lamps are at your eye level hitting you in the face. So that worked out really well. I love that room. I think it was so fun to change up something like that you may not have thought of changing up in your house, or if you're the same and you've got bookshelves like that and maybe it's a little challenging, don't think, holy crap, where am I gonna put all my stuff? Honestly, when I took them down, I had like these 2 big things at the top that were just decorative, right? I mean, those I can put somewhere else, but those weren't like a must to have. They were basically just filling space. The books, I put a lot of them in here on my actual bookshelves and under my coffee table in here, and I'll talk about the changes in here too. But you know, it really held, or it was holding less than I thought, and I'll show you what I did with my vases too. Okay, so in here I changed it up by kind of changing it back in a lot of ways. We put the couch back. This is the most comfortable piece of furniture I think in the whole house. It is slip covered. I've explained that before. Your couch may be slip covered and you don't even realize it. When I say that, people are like, where'd you buy the slip cover? It's not like that. It's the actual piece of furniture. It just means that you can take the cushions off and unzip the covers and then unzip the frame cover, and it's washable. This at least means that you can remove it, to launder it, to do whatever you need to do. I would much rather, I mean, I know I've talked about this so much, but The reason I moved it was just because I felt like, first of all, this is like our oldest piece of furniture that we've ever had, and I felt like it looked like an afterthought in here, like, oh, this just came with us like from college, which I mean basically it did. But I'm not kidding, this is a nice piece of furniture. I love it so much, but it looked a little like tired and like, you know, I had mismatched furniture with it, and it just looked like, here's my random couch. But when I put these white couches or white chairs with it, it looks like a whole vibe, right? Like it looks like a whole thing. And I don't even care, when we moved it out and I had like the 4 chair set up in here, no one ever came in here anymore. And we used to come in here all the time. I'm telling you, like, I know, I realized the lawnmowers are intense outside. I waited and they went in the back, and now it's like back. While this technically is like a living room, I hate to say formal living room, we used this room so much before. We really love this room. This is like my chill out room. I love to come in here. There's not a TV in here. I like that on the main level of our house, if someone's in there watching TV or doing whatever, someone else can come in here and read. So I don't understand the whole anti like living room movement, or like, oh, there's so many houses that we looked at probably like a couple years ago, like crazy expensive houses, like really nice houses that just don't do separate living rooms anymore. It's like not the cool thing to do, or I don't get it. I don't know. I get everyone has an opinion on it, but if you're gonna use it, I say go for it. I think it's just a nice thing to have just for privacy. It's really annoying out there. I think they finally stopped with those damn blowers outside. Okay, let's relax. Okay, so we moved it to the basement. I decided to do kind of like that 4 chair setup in here, so I moved these 2 white wingback chairs which go in there. They're kind of like my head chairs in there, and these are not like for lounging or sitting, okay? They're not super comfy, and they are not slip covered. They are actually upholstered. You cannot remove anything off of these. If you spill on them, you're screwed. So whatever, I was like, I'll just put them in here for the time being. Those other 2 chairs that are the ones that are now in the family room that you guys saw. And so it was kind of cute. No one ever came in here. Like, we never came in here and sat anymore. And I was like, okay, this is not working. So we brought the couch back, and in doing so, it kind of made me realize, like, wait a minute. The reason it wasn't looking good, like I said, was because I felt like it just looked like an afterthought. And when I saw it in here with these white chairs, it kind of all looked like it flowed together. And so these are still here for now because the ones that I ordered are not here yet. So I ordered some really nice, you know, cushy, great white slip covered chairs. So I'm so excited to get those. When I get them, I will update. They'll look pretty similar, but they're just gonna actually be like comfortable to sit in, and like I won't be terrified, because now it's like these are freaking me out, these white ones. That, it's like whatever, eat spaghetti on that couch, don't care. I always joke that's like the one piece of furniture that I don't care if Waylon gets on. So when I made that change in the family room with the bookshelves, I had all of my books to put somewhere. And so I never really went to the bookshelf in there to get them, because like I said, the bookshelves were huge. It wasn't even workable. In here, I love these bookshelves so much. They are these $100 bookshelves that I have raved about for so long. I love them so much. And so instead of doing like end tables, too much furniture, I thought these were really perfect because you can put, you know, a few knickknacks on them, but they're really functional. Got like magazines, like a few decorative things, some family photos, really, you know, a nice place to store books. And so I have a ton of books on there. I grabbed some skinny floor lamps, which I really love the look of that. I think it's just very sleek and nice. They have like a little stepper that you can turn them on and off, so really love those. I have my same art, my Juju hat. Same coffee table, and let me tell you, getting a coffee table that has this second level on the bottom, I think is so wonderful, because I'm not about clutter or these like crazy vignettes and all this stuff you see people do on the top of a coffee table. I think it's too much. Sometimes, maybe if like there's nothing else in your room or something, I don't know, maybe it works. But I just don't want a bunch of random like stuff sitting on top of a coffee table, because we actually use this one for games, and I don't mind this bowl sitting on there because I can just pick it up and move it really quickly. Little tip about the moss, okay? So I was using that preserved moss that, you know, that we saw, one of the previous decor videos I did. I showed you guys how I love doing these little moss arrangements, because I really do think that it looks flattering. You saw those giant moss balls that I had in the family room, which something about them is so just visually appealing. I don't know what it is. It just gives the room a little bit of greenery, some texture. I just think they're really, really pretty. So I noticed that my mouse was getting a little brown and it was starting to look a little questionable. So I don't know if you're supposed to spray it. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it, but I was over it. I got rid of it and I just started using these little moss balls, which are really easy. But my point, I like to just have something really easy and clean that you can just take off. Having this shelf under here really gives you some extra space to put like some things that are actually usable, or like, you know, if you have a table that's a little more rectangular, you could put some baskets under there. But I like what I did with my books. I just kind of arranged them in like 4 different little stacks, or you could just do 1 stack or 3 stacks or whatever you want to do. A few really good books that I've grabbed lately. I love this one. So the inside of it's a little like funky. It's just collections and some weird stuff, but totally worth it for the cover alone. This is a really good new Decor book, this Atmosphere. I really like that. It's a lot of really good stuff. And then this one I thought was so fun, the Hotels of the Stars. I like it because I've been to some of the places that are in there, so that was kind of fun and interesting. But I thought that was just kind of a fun, you know, coffee table book, or like some different things to have. I just think it's fun to have some interesting books around, and I really like collecting books like that and fun things. So I like that they're kind of all in kind of one place. I do have some of my books in the basement as well, which I might do another video on that soon, and just a few in, you know, like different little spots. Since there's not a lot of wood going on in this room, because I do like the balance of, you know, like I've got all this pretty white upholstery, some metal and some glass, I didn't have any wood in here, and I've got this little stump. When this came, first of all, Brad was like, what the hell, this is like the weirdest thing, like, okay, now you've ordered a stump, like what's happening? I really love it. So it's kind of like, I like it because it's kind of like each one's one of a kind, you know, like they're all a little different. You never know what kind of stump you're gonna get. It's always gonna look a little different. But no, but I just think it's fun. I think it's like some texture, and it really is pretty in here. I think that it gives it like a little rustic look. Let me show you guys this really quickly. So in our foyer, I like to keep it pretty simple. Years ago, I had a round table that I really loved in there that now I use in the basement, kind of in the corner of our bar, because it's like the perfect table down there, and I always wanted to find another round table. And I found this really pretty marble table, almost identical to this, at this local furniture store, and it was like around $1,000, and I was like, okay, no. And I saw this one at the Front Gate outlet. Like, I walked in there one day, I totally just like secreted this table being in there. I was like, I'm gonna find a weird round table today. I walked in, that one was in there, and it was literally like, I think under $200. It is so heavy, like I was afraid it was gonna like bust through the floor. Like, it's a really nice table. So I kept it really simple. I just have a little boxwood and a really cute little planter, the sweet little like Irma's dish that's just really cute. And so I just wanted to keep it simple. And I don't like really anything on the walls in my foyer, anything crazy, because I've got all this pretty molding that we did. You know, I updated you guys when we did all that, when we kind of redid this room. But I think it's nice to come in and it's kind of like, oh, you know, like there's not a lot going on. And then each room kind of flows and has its own thing. It's not like you're just like hit in the face with all this mess when you come in. All about how things make you feel. That's how decor is for me. Like, I don't think there's any rules or anything, but I just think like sometimes, I think even just describing what I've described today, it's a lot of like balancing different things, and it's not even like, oh, that's a rule, that's what you should do. It's more so it's like how it makes me feel, do you know? But everybody has their own style, so whatever. You may hate everything that I'm doing and you may love it, and I may not like what you got going on, but I may love it too. So it's just, we all have our different things, but I just think no matter what you do, you need to do what feels right to you. So I don't know, I loved that little find, but I really wanted to share with you guys the guest bedroom today, because I've got one more thing I'm gonna show you in the dining room that kind of has to do with this. I know, just stay with me. It's a small room, like I said. About a month or so ago, I was like, I need to clean out the guest bedroom, because a lot of times that's kind of where things kind of just like go to die. Like, okay, I need to clean up, let me just shove that in the guest bedroom. So I cleaned everything out from under the bed, I cleaned out the closet, and I just got it really nice. And in doing that, I got this itch to move the bed. It's a king size or a queen size bed, which I really like. It's a small room, but I would rather, and this is a tip, I think if you've got a really tiny bedroom or a really tiny room in general, rather than saying, okay, it's a small room, but I've got to have a bed, a dresser, a this, a that, a desk, so you buy all this tiny little furniture, it will make the room look teeny tiny, like a little dollhouse. If you say, okay, I'm gonna get a queen size bed and a few really nice pieces, then the room actually doesn't feel tiny. It feels like, okay, the room can handle this furniture. Do you know what I mean? Queen size bed, I moved it in front of the windows. These windows are huge double windows. They raise really easily. They just kind of float up. They're brand new windows. We need to replace all of them eventually, but those are really nice ones. I never raise these unless if we're putting the wreaths on the front of the house, honestly, for Christmas. So it's fine, it's a guest bedroom, it's fine, okay? But it may not be for everyone, but I'm not kidding you guys, when I did this, it was like, oh my gosh, this room feels so much better. And it's actually a feng shui thing, which, I mean, I don't know the rules of that, but I did when I was looking, you know, let me just see, like, is a bed in front of a window? You know, I was just looking at pictures to see like what people had done, like, is this weird or whatever? And it's actually something I never noticed, but it's really common in a lot of like rooms I had pinned on Pinterest or a lot of different things, like there's beds in front of windows. So whatever, you make it work. Actually good feng shui to have your bed on the opposite wall of your door. And I don't know, whatever. That's how it is in Olivia's room and in our bedroom too. Not in front of a window, but it's like in front of the door. So I don't know, that just made it feel so much better. I got my 2 nightstands. I put these really plain mirrors behind there because on the right, I have this big statement piece in the room are these 3 mirrors that I love. I love them in here. I love the way they reflect this beautiful light, the bed, everything. And it does kind of expand the room a lot. You know, I'm totally for small rooms, all about mirrors. But look what I did. Okay, you guys are gonna die. So this was the piece of art that I showed you guys on Instagram that I really love. It's by Teal Duncan. I got it, I put it in our dining room. When I brought it home, I just propped it in there. I was like, this actually is really pretty, like with our curtains. And so I put it in there and loved it. When I was sort of like figuring out the guest bedroom, I was at one of my favorite stores and they have this local artist that does beautiful like landscapes, just really pretty abstract stuff. Sometimes some landscapes, but really beautiful. I kept seeing this piece every time I would go. And when I brought it home, again, I propped it up in my dining room because I thought I was gonna put it in my guest bedroom, but I was still kind of like in the process of moving stuff around. And when I propped it up in the dining room, I was like, okay, this is more the vibe in here. So then I was like, oh my gosh, the colorful one would be so beautiful in the guest bedroom. See, you feel me? I swap things around, it's just whatever. But that's, I think, how you figure it out. I think very rarely do you decorate something and you're like, this is fine. Well, that's just at least me. Like, I just constantly am changing stuff and doing what's like fun, what feels right. So I've got that new piece of art in there. I think it's beautiful. I've got to put something on the back to hang it with. I really like that it's original and special. Fixture, I really love. It's just one of those big French beautiful chandeliers. And in a bedroom, I feel that, you know, if you're gonna be walking under it, you know, if it's a smaller room or whatever, don't go nuts. Like, get like a medium, like a flush mount or something. But there's nothing worse than like a little dinky flush mount light or something that, I don't know. I think that a room can take a bigger fixture if it makes sense. This is under or above a really big bed that no one's walking under, so I kind of love it. I think it's really fun and beautiful. It looks rustic, but it's kind of like French and pretty, so I kind of like the vibe that's in there. And then in our secondary bedrooms, we have these like big double closet doors, which I didn't love at first, but now I really do because I've discovered you can stick dressers in them, and that's what I did. So nothing fancy, I just literally stuck an antique dresser in here. Not a whole lot of space is needed in a guest bedroom closet. You know, people need some places to put things, hang some clothes, there's a whole rack on top. It's very important to keep a fan in there when there's not an overhead fan in a bedroom, so I've got a little fan in there. You know, things like, you know, extension cord, like little things that people might need, a charger, base, or just something, I don't know, whatever. Very important in a small bedroom too, don't get like little frilly looking nightstands that you cannot put anything in. These are nice because they're really pretty, but you can actually open them up and put things in. Put some like bottled water in there for people, put some extra, you know, like some linens or something, I don't know, some books, some magazines, clothes spray, coasters, something just like cutesy and fancy, I don't know, but it's a nice spot for them to put their stuff too. You know, your Wi-Fi info, like it's a spot for them to put their stuff too. And then I think it's also nice, especially, you know, if you've got a giant bed in a room, you know, it's like the room is like all bed, put a nice tray on the bed. I think this is nice. I have this little, you know, fake candle because, I mean, I'm sorry, you're out of your freaking mind if you're lighting a candle on the bed. I'm just like crazy with like candles and like safety and things like that. So this is another one of those, really nice. I will link to this one. They're very inexpensive. They're just super, super great. These little flame candles, these little realistic flame candles. You could put like a few bottles of water on it. Like I said, when your guests get there, you could have like a little you know, like, don't put like a big giant bouquet filled with water on your bed, because, you know, don't be a moron. But, you know, just stick a little plant or something. I've got this little faux ball here now because I don't have guests coming, and I realize I'm doing a YouTube video, but I just cannot, like, I don't know, okay? Maybe I should have, like, poured some water for you guys and, like, put some flowers out. But you get the gist. You get the gist. My friend's actually staying with us this week, so when she comes, she'll get some water, and she might get some real flowers. I don't know, we'll see. But just like put like a little cute little real flower, just something very simple. I don't know, like it's nice to make your guest bedroom nice, but just like don't get silly. But anyway, so I think that's a good tip. And what else with the guest bedroom? I'm trying to think of any other tips, but I just really love how that room came together, and something about it just feels so much better after moving the furniture around. You know, I think in your house you can kind of get stuck in a rut sometimes, or if a room doesn't feel just right, or if it's not the way you want it, like there's no rules, like just have fun and move your furniture around and like do something different. A lot of times I don't buy new stuff. I will just, you know, put something somewhere different. Other like decor things, I've got so many different areas that I could show you, or other different little updates. And when I sort of like mentally list off these things that I'm gonna talk about, I always think, how am I gonna do a video on that? That's not gonna be enough. And then here I am, we've done this big long video about it, and I still didn't talk about everything that I wanted to. So we'll do another one at some point. And I think honestly, the basement, it kind of has like a darker fall vibe to it anyway, so maybe I'll pair that in with my fall video, because my basement, I actually have done a lot of like, I've done like some orange accents and stuff down there, which I think is kind of fun and different for me. But we will talk about all that soon. And let me think about anything else. Yeah, you guys, I'll link to everything that I talked about. Thank you for hanging with me today. If you love decor as much as I do, and you're like me and you like to peek around at like what people have got going on in their house, I hope that you enjoyed that as well. I feel like there's so many other things that I want to share with you guys and show you soon, and we will get to all of it. But in the meantime, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I will see you here on Monday with a brand new video. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye.